Barak Bashad, may the blessings be, my 1435 summary and commentary on the Easy Way Discourses by Harold Klemp continues with Lesson 3, Dream On, Sweet Dreamer. There are different types of dreams. Dreams aren't all imagination or fantasy. Your dreams are a real part of your life. Dreams can have beings, things, colors, and shapes of any variety possible. The dream life is as much a part of life as the waking life. Dreams contain wisdom that the waking life may not. It can seem like the existence in dreams may not exist at all when we are veiled from consciously experiencing it. Some of that can be achieved with practice. In Eckankar, existence is viewed as split into 5 lower or negative planes and 6 or so higher planes of existence. Remember, some say there's 14. It depends on the source. Are there 10 total places? Is the etheric plane different than the mental plane? But remember, it's a comparative religion, so there are bound to be contradictions. We are all destined to go to higher planes, but must learn to accept our fate of being on this physical plane. Each world is said to be an unpolished form or emanation of the plane above it. Most dreams humanity recalls are said to be of the astral plane. It is a place of emotion and feelings. Eckankar teaches artists are often inspired in their work by the contents of this realm and its astral museum. In the astral museum, is the astral museum just a projection by those who act like it exists and focus on details that say it has? The causal plane is said to be the 3rd realm in the system. The alleged place to go here is the Hall of Records. Which the Akashic records of the New Age movement and the Mahabhuta of so-called Hindu systems of belief. In Eastern religions, it is not like a book or series of books, but a collection of existence as past, present, and future. So the New Age has kind of dumbed down the idea of Akashic records. People in Eckankar are encouraged to pray to Harold Klemp, or whoever takes his place, as holding the title of Mahanta, Wayshower, to be taken there, to be shown the past there. In this discourse, no mention is made of present or future life, but only past lives that probably no one has had. One can refer to cause and effect or memories without an intermediary. Wouldn't that be a better option? The mental plane is said to be the 3rd heaven. It is said to be a place with a lot of blue. This color coding of dreams and psychedelic experiences seems to indicate that this 11 to 14 sphere system almost entirely speaks only of the physical existence. Eckankar wants you to think that there is blue light that either is or represents Harold Klemp, or whoever currently holds the title of Mahanta at this moment. The teaching is that there is a mental plane, blue light, that is clearer, brighter, and more beautiful than any in physical existence, and that of the lower two heavens. And even if you think of the difference between psychedelic, the psychiatric, and the physical, it kicks it up a notch, the things you feel and see. The teaching is that there is always something blue here is a marker to show you what realm you were in. The teaching that there's always something blue here is a marker to show you what realm you were in. Millions of souls are said to have their existence in the mental plane. Eckankar teaches most never attain past the astral realm. Eckankar teaches that most never attain past the astral realm on a regular basis. Since most people have trouble getting beyond their emotions, is the reason that's being given. Do we really have to override our feelings or shut them off to think of cause and effect or other so-called higher matters? Can't purely intellectual matters be accessed while full of physical and emotional feeling? The etheric plane is said to be counted as in the high mental plane. Thus making it a 10-realm system. But that is not a consistent teaching in Eckankar. My stomach's growling. There is the teaching that every realm has a word that is its key. Baju is to be that of the etheric realm. Baju means cost, shirt, armband, our initial part. It is a place they present intuition being in, where there is said to be a transparency that protects the so-called lower worlds from the energy of the higher realms. Why do things have to be protected from things? Alei, Kala, Mana, Baju, Mana Aum, Baju, Sugmad Shanti, Hum Hukaluk, Hugh, whatever. I went over the series in a couple different ways, didn't I? Al-Quran 37:6 talks of the lowest of the seven heavens as being decorated by celestial bodies, the scientific things we can witness. The next verse talks of how it was guarded from the evil ones. The next 3 verses talk of how the secret chiefs are protected from being spied on, and how there is a visual reminder. Could this be what some of the definitions of features of the etheric plane that includes a visible barrier mean? Al-Quran 15:16 tells the stations in the heavens being amazing to the beholder. Al-Quran 15:16 tells of the stations in the heavens being amazing to the beholder. The 2 verses before that say that people would only be misled by witnessing certain signs, will not be conscious of them. Yeah, if you witness things and you don't know what they are, you can, and you don't have the faith to interpret things right, your knowledge of such things aren't going to necessarily do you any better now, are they? Eckankar says that being withheld from knowledge can be a blessing. How much worse is it to know and rebel than to remain ignorant and act without knowledge? Al-Quran 15:17-18 teaches the devils who try to sneak around to learn what is wrong will try the devils who try to sneak around to learn what is wrong will be chased back with might. Eckankar teaches that a Mahanta will override that for those it will help. Mahanta also means eminence or supreme personality or celebrity or something like that in its root sources. Al-Quran 15:1-13 teaches that those who don't ridicule the messenger of the age will be able to make proper use of what was sent down in time to make use of it. It's the information there, and we have to identify and make use of it. Or do we have to make a plea to an intercessor who gives it to us as he sees fit? So, what does it make sense to you to do more? Worship God or worship some old man in Minnesota that probably can't write his own books anymore? The first contradiction in the Easy Way Discourses by Harold Klemp exists on page 26, where it says, the 5th plane is the soul plane. It really lists 5 planes before this. This discrepancy would prove that this discourse series is not the Word of God, are from what God has authorized according to the criteria of Al-Quran 482. That verse would call for no contradictions or discrepancies in a book of Scripture from God. Sugmad is the word said to be the key of the soul realm. It may come from some ancient Persian languages term meaning spiritual reality, ultimate reality, or a name of God as the ultimate spiritual reality. It may come from the Farsi, Sugmad, meaning something like a scent, which is drawn out. I don't remember what language Sugmad means things like beyond names, highest of names, transcendent one, and is sometimes personified as a star goddess. But you don't have to personify something to get the ideas. But it is a little weird having a different name of God on each plane and acting like they're a hierarchy. Seems unnecessary division. In more than one language, it means master. In Eckankar, it is the name of the formless one, the God of all. God is a noun. Eckankar kind of separates God as a noun and God as a verb. Instead of Yahweh or Allah or some other language term for God that's kind of nondescript and God as a noun and a verb, Eckankar separates Ek being God as a verb and Sugmad as God as a noun. The soul plane and beyond are said to be where one's heart is uplifted and strengthened. The etheric, mental, causal, astral, and physical planes are said to be places of positive or negative experiences that are a result of bad habits or mistakes. There is a teaching of a dream sensor that can be helpless in children. Under 5. Because that hasn't developed. Now, what is it about 5 that all of a sudden a dream sensor would be something that would develop in an individual? Your own psychology must be the actual dream sensor. Children 4 and younger might think the same experiences are past lives, and older people may not even remember, much less interpret them that way. Education can close the mind to psychedelic and spiritual realities and theories. Remember, it's not like ancient alien theories. A theory is something that's backed up by the facts to date. And, okay, the light's just kind of coming off me. Where is there? Okay. Dreams are a highlight of a spiritual person's life. A spiritual person is called an Eckist. Eckankar says this is a term for those who think the head of their corporation controls everyone's dreams and gives them insight other ways. Dreams show answers for the outer life. They just need interpreted. Dreams are a way to truth that can be explored. On page 29 it says, the purpose of life is to learn and earn the qualities of spirit. All this takes practice and patience. We can exist on many levels at once, but the attention away from the physical plane is not to be a diversion from problems. And yeah, spiritual escapism is a very common problem, particularly with the magical thinking and New Age sorts of ways of addressing things. But as I said last night, there are multiple sources of dreams. There is yourself, demons, and some is what God has specifically arranged. And okay, maybe I got sunburned thing, but there's an experience here that I thought I would share. From the 25th of the 3rd month of 1435, Sugmad spiritual exercise and the Easy Way Discourses, lesson 3. Remember, lesson 3 is Dream On, Sweet Dreamer. Dream on! Dream on! Dream until your dreams come true! I didn't do that very well, but you know what I mean. Page 29 and 30 of the Easy Way Discourses by Harold Klemp has the 3rd month and Eckankar's spiritual exercise. Has the 3rd month and Eckankar's spiritual exercise. That would be to sit or lie before bedtime and gently sing Sugmad, which means God is a noun, or the God you seek, for 5 minutes. One should be emotionally open to goodwill and love. Then be silent and continue for 10 to 15 minutes. Open your eyes and then go to sleep in your usual manner. I set out to do spiritual exercise of Ek 1, Discourse 1, number 3, at least once per set of sleep periods within 24 hours, starting April 11th, 2013. I've been seeing patterns and shapes of purples every night. So Eckankar would say that's the etheric plane. But let's be real, particularly somebody who's autistic and can think on different levels at the same time. I know right well that on each level of the psychology you can have some of the same sounds and feelings and sights. More than one dream included going into it with a fluttery feeling. More than one dream includes sounds of a low-pitched flute. I practice this spiritual exercise when going to sleep again between the 24th of December 2013 after dusk and before noon on January 27th, 2014. Night after night, the results were falling asleep in blue, then passing through a metallic purple layer. Things began to include euphoric wipes to start the longer sleep portions of the practice. In the earlier part of the night, on the 25th of the 3rd month of of 1425, of 1435, I'm sorry, of January 26th, 2014, I saw old light-colored structures as I went to sleep, 7:22 to 9:10 a.m. on Monday, the 27th of January 2014, during the chanting of the word for God you seek, Sugmad. I felt euphoric wiping down me, and I grew tingly all over. It was with the sort of a flowing sensation. It was with the sort of flowing sensation. During the silence, I began to be pleasantly warm and feel like I wasn't on my bed anymore. I saw as if I was somewhere in Peru, full of light-colored ancient structures. It was a clearer scene than the night before. I blinked my eyes and instantly went to sleep amongst a deep blue. I saw myself pass through a vibrating metallic purple layer with a rushing sound. I was surrounded by gold powder. Out of it came a cylindrical yellow building with a spiral staircase making a full circle to the top, past 6 entryways. Could it be the Param Akshar temple mentioned in the Eckankar literature? Could it be a projection of a precious, childlike, and reserved construction of consciousness? I went up the staircase to one room after the other, with 5 silent ones, showing themes of alternating stages. Could they be Tendor Saki, Nirguna Ekam, Ju Chizo, Ju Chiao, Tura Yung, and Shandave, perhaps. Oh, and Shandave, Honardi. Could they be projections of alchemical earth, water, air, fire, and spirit? Could they be projections of consciousness? Oh, could they be each room was circular, with a meadow green disc. Of one of the Shemham Farash sigils for Sagittarius are numbers 57 through 62 on the ceiling, and the corresponding one of the Goetia upon the floor, 57 through 62. as I went up the sequence of the floors, progressed from 57 through 62, with one color per room. The colors were orange, neon orange, silver, forest green, deep yellow, and purple. I was to remember my own imperfection. I was also to know I was approaching a perfection of myself, and perhaps others. I woke at 9:10 a.m., feeling very heavy, and rolled back over to repeat the spiritual exercise. I found myself going to sleep amongst a deep blue and going through a metallic purple sheet with a tinkling sound. The metallic sort of, tapping sort of sound. You know what I'm talking about. I stirred a cauldron with the planet Mercury symbol on it. I stirred a cauldron with the planet Mercury symbol upon it. I was given a particular portion of herbs and other ingredients. I was directed as to what I was allowed and forbidden, but given the freedom to work as I willed otherwise. I was to act quickly, though. This seems to be a Mercury in Sagittarius analogy of life lived upon the message, but seeking further expression of it. I continued along my journey under the waning moon of the 26th night, even though it was the 25th day. I had the strength and ability to find my way out, but was lost to find a way. This seems to be